Did you watch AEW? I watched.
Yes, I
I watched highlights of the debate. Okay, and I watch AEW on Hulu.
They hit 804,000 this week, Di.
So it's down from what last week?
What was it yesterday?
804.
Yeah, it was 804. Last week was something. No, last week was something like 887. But let me make sure.
It was like 850 something. I thought, or like it was just down, right? Because they went up from 775. Now they just came back down from wherever they went up to. So, but it's the same.
You're right. Yeah, it was 832 last week and 804 this week.
Yeah, interesting. So, right in the middle, basically right in the middle of the sandwich between the 2 weeks prior. So Tony Schiavone, so they're backstage, and MJF is Tony Schiavone's interviewing MJF, and he takes a call from Adam Cole, who's on the television screen. I guess Adam Cole doesn't realize he's going to be on TV, but he looks like he needs some Manscaped grooming products for his beard, because he looked like he's trying to look like a lumberjack or something. I don't get it.
A mountain man,
right?
Dexter.
Yeah. So he suggested MJF. He suggested MJF take up Samoa Joe in the office, and MJF said he wouldn't pick him. Then Danny Garcia, Matt Morrone, and Angelo Parker showed up. And MJF said he's proven his talent over tenure, and he said he wanted to give Garcia a shot to do the same. And MJF asked Garcia if he was getting a sports entertainer or professional wrestler. Garcia stepped up and said he would get a professional wrestler. Then he, Menard, and Parker left. And Roderick Strong gets wheeled in, going, Adam. MJF made a quick exit, and Strong told Cole that the devil would walk away like MJF just did, and Cole ended the call. Bro, and Strong looked into the camera and said it was time to show everyone who he is. Bro, this stuff is just, I don't know how much these guys are into this angle, because everybody is like acting very JoJo in this. Do you notice that? It's like even MJF's acting in this is just kind of lame. Like he just kind of, it's just not.
I still thought Menard and Parker, they're always, no matter what they're doing, even if they don't get to speak, they do have great facial expressions too.
But bro, it's like MJF is like, it's like a white meat baby face right now. It's just not. This isn't compelling television, right. And I don't think he's happy with what they're giving him to do, because he's kind of overacting a little bit, and he's not as entertaining as he was like 4 or 5 months ago. I mean, would you agree with that?
I don't know. I didn't see that, and I do think that he's got enough power to do whatever he wants. If Tony were to tell him, "Yo, I want you to do this," I'm pretty sure that he could say, "No, I don't want to do that, and I want to do this." So I'm pretty sure he's doing what he wants to do. He's probably the only guy that's not really nonchalant out of everybody here. But everybody seems that they're not getting fired up like he does. You know what I'm saying? Right. There was a part where, what's this guy's name? Wasn't there something there where they said, like, didn't Samoa Joe show up, or somebody said something about Samoa Joe?
Yeah, MJF said Samoa Joe, and he said, don't
Adam Cole
Samoa
said,
Joe.
No, Adam Cole told him in the phone call that he should think about Samoa Joe, offer. Remember?
Right. Yeah. That's what he said.
He said, okay.
I'm not picking
him.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
and then he said something like I'll do it myself. But what I'm thinking, the thing I want to get to is, at the end, Roderick Strong said, "You haven't seen the best of me yet," or something like that, right? And then I think right after they showed the Devil's Mask.
No, that's at the end of the show.
Okay. Is it all the way to the end?
Yeah, this is the end of the show.
Okay.
All right.
So, maybe it's not. Did I miss it here? I don't.
I think Konnan's right. I think they showed the mask, not the guy, but I think they showed the mask.
Not at the beginning. It doesn't say so here when I'm reading this. I don't recall that. I thought it was at the end of the show.
Okay.
Maybe he did.
I might have misforgot. And I don't.
Maybe he missed.
No, bro. And let me just say, I mean, Portland just loved this guy. Everywhere he goes, they love him. You know what I'm saying?
So MJF wrestles Danny Garcia.
Here's something important. This is what I was trying to remember, and now I just remembered it. Bro, did you catch when somebody on the commentary team said, like they were really putting this over? They said it not more than once, that these are the stars of the future. Because I almost feel, because I've been seeing and hearing a lot of criticism that they're using, 50 plus talent, 40 plus, older
or 70.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Like older talent, and like the fans are complaining. Some of the wrestlers are complaining, and they're trying to say these are the stars of the future. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't. MJF wrestles Danny Garcia. There was no doubt what would happen in this match.
Right.
MJF wins
pretty quick
after
for a
the
championship match.
MJF offered his hand. Garcia was about to shake it, but Menard and Parker stepped in and stopped him from shaking his hand. MJF asked Garcia if he was really going to follow Menard and Parker. He tried to shake his hand again, but he stopped by Menard and Parker again, and they all left the room.
See, this is what's weird. This is what's weird because Garcia supposedly pretended. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, Joe and Disco. Garcia pretended that he was gonna like leave the Jericho Appreciation Society, and then he came back, and like they've kind of come around a little bit, like Sammy Guevara, that he was healed and faced and healed and faced. My question is, why would this guy want to shake his hand, MJF's hand?
I don't know. This is, like I said, there's so many things on this show that just don't make
shake it.
Yeah, that don't make a lick of sense. I mean, like it's just all over the place.
But yeah, that might not have been in the review. That might not have been in the review. Di, but Konnan was right. After MJF's promo, like it goes staticky, and then they just show the devil like doing one of these looking, and then it goes staticky again. So the mask pops up, is what Konnan said. Yeah. So
wow. I thought it was. Yeah.
That's supposed to be like a very. Like,
the guys show the mask. Who could it be? Yeah. Tony Khan. They're trying to make a big deal. Like who could be behind the mask?
So, speaking of being all over the place, a video package aired with Mark Briscoe known to be the first time that he and Jay White would meet in a singles match. You recall White cutting his teeth in Ring of Honor, so now he has his minions doing his bidding. Briscoe called for White to put his Full Gear title shot on the line, and that short little promo there turns into the main event on our show. Briscoe hadn't been on the show in forever, but that's where there's the main event. Like, it's like they reverse engineered the booking here. It's like they came up with the main event. I want Mark Briscoe to wrestle Jay White. Let's figure out a way to book in the video package where he says we've never wrestled. Let's wrestle. So okay, get the Who's ready. Sting and Darby Allin versus the Outrunners, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd.
Who?
The Outrunners. Right. So they beat the Outrunners in 3 minutes. And that's it.
What does that even mean?
After the match, Sting took a lap around the ring and clapped faces. I don't know why.
Joe.
Yes.
Joe, do you know what that means? Outrunners? That sounds like a Delco terminology. All right.
So we go backstage, and this is the first time Tony Storm has had one of her interviews.
They must be video game marks because Outrunners was a racing game in the arcade in 1986.
What? I would have known that because I was playing arcade games then.
So there's a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone with Hikaru Shida and Tony Storm, who's accompanied by Luther. So in black and white, Shida was like, "I'm gonna beat you for the title." She said like one sentence, okay. Then Storm started doing her overacting and spoke about how the spotlight belongs to her, and she signed the contract. And Shida also signed it, said she would beat Storm at Full Gear. And Storm removed her shoe. And Shida slapped the shoe out of her hand. They had a stare down. And that was the end of the segment. Does this make you excited for their match, Konnan?
No, it was very short. But again, first of all, I didn't know this girl even spoke English, right?
Right.
Shida. And what's this girl? I think Storm, even with her overacting, which I think is part of the gimmick, I just think she's a star. And she's like, she blows away this other girl to me. Just looking at both of them, one looks like a little girl. The belt's almost as big as her, weighs almost as much as her. She's not really physical in the ring. She's not, her. Bro, the other chick, she's got all the goods.
All right. So you got to explain this to me, okay?
Well, first I have to understand it. What is it?
Okay. Swerve comes out to Prince Nana, with Prince Nana, okay? And he was trying to do his dance, and some of the fans are doing the dance, or whatever, right? So explain this. Excalibur said that due to Swerve and Nana breaking into Hangman Page's home, Page has been banned from ringside for the match.
Well, the match can't take place because Page would be so enraged he'd clearly interfere. So they want to have the match without it being ruined by an angry Adam
That's
Page.
What I got out of it.
Okay, but nothing has happened to Excalibur and Nana for breaking into Page's home. Like, no. Page is the one that's being banned from ringside. It's like, I could give you a lot of examples, okay?
Page would have called the cops. He would have called the cops, bro, but he wants to settle it man-to-man in the ring on paper.
This is what the equivalent is what sounds like to me. It's like in hockey, you cross-check the guy in the back of the head, okay? And the guy that got cross-checked in the back of the head is the guy to go sit in the penalty box for like 5 minutes now. That's what this sounds like to me. It's ridiculous. But Swerve wrestled Penta. This was one of Penta's better matches he's had in AEW because they slowed down a lot and sold a lot more for the moves, and they didn't do deliver everything in the kitchen sink in this, even though it was 13 minutes. What did you think of this match, Konnan? I watched this. I thought this was one of Penta's better matches.
I thought this was very good, and they did do a lot of moves. Some devastating moves there, but they got good chemistry. They know each other from the Lucha Underground days. Right. And Swerve's a great wrestler, and so is Pentagon. Let me just tell you. So when Prince Nana comes out dancing, which is over with some of the fans, it just looks kind of weird because Swerve is supposed to be the serious kind of psycho guy, and this guy's dancing behind them all the way down. Then he's dancing with him in the ring. And I've always thought that, like, as a babyface, you're dividing the audience. Most people should be cheering me, and almost everybody should be booing you. And you're doing something to get a pop from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of a babyface thing to do.
Yeah, of course it is, and that's why I'm not a fan of this. I don't like. Like I said, I Swerve should just be by himself. He doesn't need a manager. So he beats Penta.
Remember. I'll give you a good example. Remember when Jade Cargill, all right, used to come out with the lawyer guy who is a nice guy, but Mark Flemings, or what was his name?
Sterling.
Mark Sterling.
Oh no,
Mark Sterling, right?
Yes, Mark Sterling. Yeah.
We haven't seen him in a while, by the way. But anyways, he has a good look, but she didn't need him. And then for a while, I think she had Kara. She had some other girl that was with her that she didn't need. Remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And then she had the Jade's baddies or whatever they were called. Remember that?
Right. That's what Swerve reminds me of. Like, he doesn't need anybody, bro. Right. Especially somebody that's acting kind of goofy. He should be acting more serious like him. But continue.
Okay. So he beats him. He beats Penta. There's another loss for Penta, the AAA guy. So afterwards, Swerve goes after the mask of Penta. Hangman Page runs out with the chair and chases him out of the ring and gives him some chair shots, and then he hits him with chases Nana in the back, and two security guards came out and they ate chair shots, and then he performed a dead eye on Swerve from the stage through a table on the floor. And Page knelt over Swerve.
I like this. I like that segment. The aftermath. I like the match, but the aftermath I thought was really good, and it makes you want to see Full Gear.
So the Bullet Club Gold members are all cutting a promo. White said he watched AEW Collision and mocked MJF, told him to compare some online graphs, which were Google Trends. White said MJF searches his own name in hopes of appeasing all of his insecurities, and White said he will always be better than MJF. White said he's truly elite and will show that against Mark Briscoe. All right. They did Don Callis.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Di, do you think there's a chance? You know how they're called the Golden? What are they called? The Golden what? Jets?
The Golden Jets. Yeah.
Do you think that could be homage to Bobby Hall, who's I believe is from Winnipeg and was called the Golden Jet?
Of course it is. Right.
Okay.
So the Don Callis family package aired. Callis said they believe in unquestioned loyalty and said they are not concerned with AEW rules and prepared to do things that can't be fathomed. Then Kenny Omega chimed in with his own voiceover, and it was like, just kind of generic. The Renee Paquette interview, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, the backstage interview said she called next week's 8-man tag the final boss battle and asked him about it. Jericho said he didn't think Callis realized they would bring in Paul White and Kota Ibushi. The Young Bucks duo of Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson showed up. They're acting very heelish here. They said they set up shop in the broom closet with the extras. Matt mocked Omega and Jericho for having a cool team name, the Golden Jets, and said the Elite name is pretty cool too. It said they are the guys who started the whole place. Jericho said the Bucks are such good friends that they didn't even have Omega's back when Powerhouse Hobbs beat him up. Jericho also said it was the four of them who helped launch AEW, and Matt said Jericho would say that. He said they created the revolution, then Jericho waltzed in and cashed another big check. Jericho told the Bucks to remember who they were talking to, and Jericho said he and Omega are two of the greatest to ever have done in the history of pro wrestling. And Jericho said the Bucks might be the greatest tag team in the world, but he still thinks that he and Omega can beat them. Omega looked uncomfortable during this, and Matt challenged Omega and Jericho to face him and Nick at Full Gear and know this in their hometown. Jericho said he liked the idea, but he wanted to put more steam on it. He said that when he and Omega win, they get the Bucks tag team title shot. I didn't even know the Bucks had a tag team title shot, by the way. Matt said that when he and Nick win, the Golden Jets are no more. And Omega said the Bucks are the greatest tag team of all time, and he doesn't want to wrestle them. But if you're, bro, I think it's just silly when everybody keeps talking about how the Bucks are the greatest tag team of all time. I mean, like, Meltzer thinks they are, but it's like this is a hard sell on a wrestling audience when you're looking at those two guys and you're thinking of the greatest tag teams of all time. It's like they're not in the conversation,
Right. So you got to be relative. We've been watching tag teams for 50 years, but somebody has been watching it for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. Maybe it is the Young Bucks,
Bro, it's not even bro, you can't, if you took like a random wrestling fan, all right, and asked them who the greatest tag team in wrestling is today, who would they say? Or what was the Usos?
Road Warriors.
No, they would say the Usos, like today, like the like the Usos. Even though they're not tag
yeah. I think
they would say the Usos.
I definitely think that, bro. I do think that some indie fans and AEW fans would say Young Bucks.
Okay, but why would they say that?
Because their body of work in the last 10 years.
No, what body of work? But what body of work?
Ring of Honor, Japan, AEW, and TNA.
Okay, I want to make a perfect point here.
Yeah,
their body of work in AEW is terrible. They don't have like any sustained tag team title runs. They don't have the Usos were like the tag team title champion. Like in the universe of the show, okay, the Usos blow away the Bucks the past 4 years because the Bucks they barely been on the show at all. Like they haven't really wrestled a lot of big matches. They haven't had a lot of good angles.
So but in the Meltzer
rating systems, that's the metric they score well in. You know what I'm saying? And that's not relevant in the big picture if you asked a random wrestling fan. That's my point. Right. So when they say this, they made their greatest tag team of all time. It's like, why haven't they been booked like that in AEW? If they're the greatest tag team of all time, they should have been the tag team champions for a while, doing angles with the FTR and all these guys. But they've just had kind of random matches with one. Like look at the build up for this match. Well, when is Full Gear, Joe?
Next Sunday, not this coming Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay, they're just announced this match. Like this is an angle that should be built up for 4 to 6 weeks, and then they have a big blow up, personal issues between the guys. This is one interview in the back, and now they're going to have a match
next Saturday. Rather,
their body of work in this company has been terrible for what they could have contributed to this product. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but is that creators' fault or is that their fault?
Well, it's not their fault. Well, I mean, they're part of the team, but like it is creators' fault. But like I'm saying, they've wasted a lot of opportunity to do.
I just feel
that's what I'm saying.
I just feel that just like I just said about MJF, and we know how the business is that the guys on top have say. They're vice presidents and they're guys that on top. If you don't like something, don't do it and give a suggestion. Whatever they're doing, or whatever they've done in the last 4 years, with the exception of what they did at the very beginning, because they were working in pretty good at the very beginning, has been very underwhelming. And it's their fault too, because if you don't like what the booker is writing for you, you should say, hey, I don't want to do that. I'll do something different. Let me give you an idea or give me another idea, So, they have not been booked good. But in the indies, bro, they were drawing crowds. They were drawing crowds. They had enormous lines for the autograph signings because I was there, and they put on really good, entertaining matches. And they were really nice to the fans. Instead of just trying to get a signature next, they would spend time with the fans, and that gets around. Hey, I went to see the Young Bucks, and they were really cool. They talked with me. Oh, okay. Next time they come, I want to check them out. So they did have a really good following. And that's why I do think some indie fans and AEW fans would pick them.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. The AEW, the indie fans, but that's not your random wrestling fan. Random wrestling fans watch the products on TV and stuff. So, okay, but let me finish this. So Omega said the Bucks are the greatest tag team of all time and doesn't want to wrestle them. But if you're asking me if I think it could beat you, we've been down that road and I've done it before. Omega said. Omega took issue with the attitude the Bucks brought and said maybe the Bucks will start acting like real adults instead of a bunch of sissy whiny children. And Omega said he thought the Bucks needed to hear that from someone like him. Omega said he would see them in LA, and Jericho said he looked forward to beating their spoiled brats and added that he had his own dressing room. That was a good line at the end. But everybody acted like a heel here, but it was good because it was good personal verbiage between each other.
And issues.
Right, exactly. So this was a good segment for the but they need more to build this match up. That's what
why I like this match? Because knowing the four guys, they're going to have a great match. They'll do something creative and really something cool. Like the one thing I can say about them, and we already know this about Jericho, but the one thing I can say about Omega and the Young Bucks, just like Jericho, they really want to go out there and have a good match and entertain the people. So I know the match will be good.
Right. So next, they did Samoa Joe against Keith Lee. Joe chokes him out in 10 minutes. Bro, Keith Lee's talk about an underwhelming run in AEW. Keith Lee.
Yeah, and this was kind of treated like a big deal kind of match, and maybe it would have been
How was it treated like a big deal?
Just the way I saw people talking about it on Twitter and stuff.
Bro, I didn't even know this match was happening until I was watching the show.
It's the only one I knew was happening. It's because
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So after the match, Joe took the mic.
Had it been announced?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, but it's not with. There was like no angle. They announced the match and they had the match. That's it. There was no story or that I saw.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So Joe said he didn't come here to merely be the TV champion. He said he hungered to find some greats. He's officially hungry. He announced that he was vacating the Ring of Honor title and placed the belt on the mat. And he said the next goal in his shoulder will be the AEW World title, whether MJF likes it or not. So I thought this was relinquishing the title. I'm not a fan of, because now all it does is like there was an idea. Now they're going to have a 4-way something or other for the for the belt.
But he never gave a reason why he never gave a reason why he relinquished the title.
At least it's because he wants to go for the heavyweight title.
He's going for the world title.
That's the reason.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right.
And so let me say something, if I remember correctly, and it might have been on Dynamite Disco. If not, definitely was on Rampage or the other one, Collision. But I watched so much that I forgot which one it was on. But Keith Lee and Samoa Joe have had like 2 backstage interactions. There wasn't physical, but there were words had between them. But I forgot what program.
Like sizing each other up kind of thing, yeah.
I didn't see it. Orange Cassidy.
Did you see that, Joe, at all?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Orange Cassidy stood there and delivered a promo while Hook just stood there. This is like a weird tag team because Hook just stands there and never says anything. He's like, Cassidy said Jon Moxley must have lost his mind when he said he didn't respect him. And Cassidy said Moxley's the only person he's been thinking about since Moxley left him in a pool of his own blood and took his AEW International Championship. Cassidy said he didn't pick up the pieces of Ray Phoenix. He picked up the pieces of the AEW International Championship that Moxley dropped. Cassidy said holding the belt doesn't feel the same because he needs to beat Moxley, and I have to beat you in order for to be the international champion that I know I am, Cassidy said. And he removed his glasses, said that he will beat Moxley in full gear. But that's the thing about this. Like every promo they do on the show is just talking about the match and how I'm going to beat you and I need to beat you. It's like there's no personal storytelling or, I don't know. They're not doing any soap opera storytelling on the show. They're just announcing matches. Guys cut the promos for the matches, and the promos read like you could go back and read like the last 20 weeks of this show, and each 80% of the promos would read the exact same almost. They were
doing 2 storytelling things, and then they kind of just got lost. They were doing the story. Oh, well, one got lost because the guy got hurt. The Adam Cole and MJF, tag team. That was, you know what I'm saying? That was storyline. Right. And until this guy got hurt, there was another storyline that I don't know what happened, which was a Chris Jericho one. And all of this, remember that they were separating the team, and then Don Callis got involved with Omega, and then all of a sudden he's partners with Omega.
Right.
Am I wrong about that, Joe?
No, you're just like, bro. We don't watch all the I don't watch all the shows. And they don't do a lot of recapping on this, so it's like the stuff is still confusing.
Yeah, what happened, bro? They should have gotten a lot of positive feedback that keep the fucking recaps in, and they didn't do it this week.
Right? Yeah, good point. Well, they did a recap kind of the Kenny Omega Don Callis story, but it was only like a minute.
Yeah,
and a half.
But they should have done a recap of the whole show.
Right. So Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn wrestled the Bollywood Boys.
Real quick. Sorry do you guys mind if I split? I got to take my wife to a hairdresser thing.
Sure.
I'll be back in like 10 minutes if we're still on.
Okay.
You can't walk there. Right. Nothing.
All right.
I don't want it. It's dark out. This is a sketchy neighborhood.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll leave this on. So okay. All right. See you.
Okay, Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn defeated the Bollywood Boys, and after the match, Colton cut a promo about how they've been doing this for 3 years and are generational talents. Austin took the mic and said the only friends that MJF has left sit on the other side of the guardrail. He said he hopes MJF will pick one of the fans in his partner's full gear so he can send them on a ride with the 310 to Yuma. Then MJF was shown watching the promo in the backstage interview set. Samoa Joe walked up behind MJF, who saw him, and in like a very overly dramatic fashion, MJF walked away. Did you notice that? Like when he walked away and like made a big, like it's like he power walked away, So then Moxley delivers a promo backstage while Wheeler Yuta stood by, and Moxley said people have told him to give Cassidy a break because he just took advantage of an opportunity. Moxley said it's not just about a belt. He asked what kind of example he would set for Yuta if he doesn't beat the hell out of Cassidy. Then Moxley asked Cassidy what kind of example he's setting for his fans. Moxley said it will be gang warfare when they arrive at LAX. Moxley called Hook a young boy and told him to take notes if his fingers still work. Then, in a very menacing manner, Yuta called Hook a pretty boy and said they're messing with the wrong crew. What did you think about Yuta's out on that? I thought it was pretty funny.
It was.
Right. A Wardlow video package aired, and he said the first 3 years in AEW were living hell because he had a foot on his neck, and Wardlow said his potential was wasted. He felt worthless. It's all because of MJF. See, MJF won't know when or where, but once he finds out, it'll be too late, and said that the days of the devil ruling over AEW are coming to an end. This was good verbiage from him, I thought, because he's blaming... they were doing character development with him when he was talking about his dad years ago, a while back and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. They don't, everybody just kind of talks about the match that they have coming up against the guy that they're wrestling. So this was a funny match, Julia Hart versus Red Velvet, because, it was what it was. But Hart goes over. Now, this was funny. So Hart put Velvet in her heartless submission hold afterwards. And Sky Blue comes out, and who's now wearing, she doesn't have her butt hanging out anymore. She's wearing jeans.
She's got black pants.
Black pants. And she's got her face and eyes painted. Like she's kind of like some ominous character now. Then her and Julia Hart got face to face with like no facial expression at all of like to convey anything or like that. They're just staring at each other. Then Chris Statlander and Will Nightingale walked out, and the Statlander stepped in front of Sky Blue while Nightingale tended to Velvet. And Hart just left the ring. What did you think of the post match here, Konnan?
I didn't understand it. It's like, okay, she spit
like
mist in your face the other day. Right. She spit mist in your face. Why aren't you slapping this?
Well, here's the thing. She got in her face, and the announcer's like, is she going to spit the mist on her? Now, she had spit the mist on her the week before, right? Why you let her get right in your face again?
Right. That's what I said. Why didn't you? Right. You spit mist in your face. Why aren't you slapping out of her? And they're just standing there, staring at each other.
Why are you at least not averse to like that? You're worried about you getting spit in the face again,
And what reason is Willow out there, and what reason is Chris Statlander out there? They weren't fighting.
Right. So this was interesting.
It's very weird.
RJ City stood on the backstage set and introduced Mariah May as the newest AEW signing. This girl's very attractive, okay? But there were some clips posted over on Twitter. She's very reckless. Like she's a Stardom girl. She wrestles in Stardom, but she's a hot blonde.
Right.
And she's dropped. Bro, the people are posting her highlights. She's dropping girls on their head, on their neck, and stuff. Like very reckless, right? So she said it was nice to meet him, and she's happy to be in AEW. She noted that she came from Stardom in Japan. She's a big fan of RJ City. She said when she went to Japan because Tony Storm went to Japan, and now she's in AEW because Storm is in AEW. And City said she could introduce them. Then May got excited and gave him a kiss on the cheek. What did you think about this debut of Mariah May?
It did not interest me at all.
Me neither. Especially when she's talking about Stardom and stuff like bro, this girl's hot. Like I would have done like glamour video with her or something. All right, so they should have done like a glamour video to make her look like a star. She absolutely did not.
Yeah, she was kind of like an airhead. Oh my God! Oh, I'm gonna meet her next week, and
right.
I'm here because of Tony Storm. Just kind of ditzy,
Right. So then we have the main event, and Jay White against Mark Briscoe.
Can I just tell you something real quick, Di?
Yeah.
So you know how they had her kind of ditzy and, all happy and giggly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would have been better if, everybody in that company, if you color your eyes, are all of a sudden ominous. But anyways, without painting her eyes or none of that, just say, I'm looking for somebody. And when I find her, everybody's going to know who it is. And you're trying to figure out like who it is until she finally gets to Tony Storm. Because this right here did not interest me.
No, me neither. She's like I said, she came across as a mark, not a star. So White, of course, beats Briscoe. We got a lot of aftermath here. So after the match, MJF's music played while the Bullet Club Gold members were inside the ring. Of course, they were all out there, but Mark Briscoe's a moron for challenging this guy, knowing that all four of them would be there. So the Bullet Club Gold guys were in the ring, and they all turned and faced the stage, and then MJF entered the ring behind them. Then MJF punched out Robinson and both the guns with the diamond ring on his hand, and White exited the ring to avoid facing MJF. MJF took the mic and said he hoped White had fun playing dress up as the top guy because playtime is almost over. MJF said when he won the title, he promised himself he would go down as the greatest AEW champion of all time or die trying. MJF said White would have to kill him to beat him. And MJF said he's not just fighting for himself. He said he's fighting for everyone who's been with him since one, Adam Cole, the fans at home, and all the fans in the building. I think, he's been with him since day one, I think he's meant to say. Not say one. That's how it's right. MJF said he's not just a scumbag. I'm their scumbag. And MJF said White runs around with a fake gun and asks if he'd be the first man to pull the trigger. The lights in the arena went out, and then footage played on the big screen of masked men attacking Billy Gunn, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens. The masked man threw Bowens through a glass window to a strange-looking makeshift office, and then they cut to a shot of the man wearing the devil mask. Then MJF rushed out of the ring and ran to the back, and once MJF arrived, he showed concern over what happened. Then MJF showed up and asked MJF how he was doing, and then laughed before walking away. So people online, the AEW marks, think that it's Jack Perry is the devil because of the angle with the real glass with CM Punk, and that they threw Anthony Bowens through the glass.
Could be.
Are you serious?
Yeah, could be. You never know.
Who do you think the devil is in this situation?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. But I mean, do you think it's going to be like a really cool reveal, or do you think it's going to be kind of underwhelming? I guarantee you one.
Usually underwhelming. Obviously, I wanted it to be cool. I was hoping, like I told you last week, that it was somebody like Ruby Soho who is mad at somebody like, let's say, not at JF because he's in everything, but let's say who's somebody like her age there. Who's somebody kind of like her age? I'm going to say Eddie Kingston just to say Ruby Soho.
Right. Okay.
And let's say that like they, early in her career, she hooked up with Eddie Kingston before the tattoos and before the punk rock thing, and he broke her heart, and now she's different, and he never recognized her. Now she's there to get her revenge on him or something, and she's the devil, something that you don't expect.
Well, you know who I think it should be?
Was that a bad angle that I just told you?
No, not really. But I mean,
all right.
You know what I think the devil should be? Tanahashi. some New Japan guy. Somebody go like, who? Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the show is still on this run of being kind of underwhelming. Swerve's doing some good work. Adam Page is actually doing some good work with Swerve selling it, but I didn't like the angle, like he's banned from ringside. Completely unnecessary to have two squash matches on the same show. Like Sting and Darby needed a win over two, and plus two. Where was Cage? Cage should be on the show every single week. Why was he not on the show? Why did we have Sting and Darby versus Truth, Magnum, and Turbo Floyd instead of a segment with Cage and these guys? Is that a good question to ask?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
next,
just on this show, but
Collision they announced. Okay. And I think they should have put something on this show because of these two guys are not they're going to have Luchasaurus and these two new guys that dress like priests or like religious hippies or something. Yeah. What are they called? I don't know.
They used to be in ROH.
Yeah, Ring of Honor guys, and they're going to be wrestling Sting, Darby, and somebody. I don't know. It's like I don't know. They're in a rut right now, and they need to if they get a good reveal on this MJF thing with the devil thing, they can maybe spike some business. And, but right now they're just in a rut. They're like the show's been very underwhelming.
In this show, what I liked was the MJF stuff. I like Tony Storm. I like the Chris Jericho and Omega versus the Young Bucks.
That was the best segment on the show. That backstage interaction, I thought. Would you agree with that?
That's 2 weeks in a row too, because last week they did a good one. And also Page, I like the match between Swerve and Penta, and then I liked even more the aftermath with Page.
Right. You know what? Let me make another point here too. Plus, I think this would be more. One of the problems that they have is that like a lot of these guys don't dress for work. Okay. Now, remember when Kenny Omega was the cleaner in New Japan and he had the black leather vest on,
suit.
the black, dressed like the Terminator kind of, right? Bro, how much better would this look if Jericho was on the set all decked out in his gear, Kenny Omega was dressed like the cleaner, and the Young Bucks were wearing their gear? Okay, like for this. So bro, they all looked like, with the exception of Jericho, who just actually had jeans on in his ring jacket, they all looked like they were in the clothes that they showed up to work in. Like they didn't get dressed for their segment. And I think that's a problem that this show has. The guys don't dress for work. They just go out on TV wearing the clothes that they got when they left the hotel and got in the rental car and drove to the show. That's what they're wearing on the show.
You're making money. You're not in the indies anymore. You can afford nice. If you don't wear that in real life, just wear it in your acting life. You're trying to make an impression and look like a star. Look at WWE, bro. 80% of that roster gets it.
Seth Rollins.
They get it.
Right. Go out there and look like a star. Even like if a guy's wearing a suit, it's an expensive suit. These guys are wearing $2,500, $3,000 suits on that show. Cody looks like $1 million. Miz looks like everybody looks like $1 million. And these people they just look like they dressed in what they drove to the show in. And that's
pretty much.
And that comes from the top, bro. And I'm going to call out Jericho on that too, bro. He should be telling these guys, hey, guys, if we want to look professional, we got to start dressing professional on the show. Like the locker room leaders need to kind of lay that down, or maybe they do, but maybe these guys are just saying like, "Oh, wear what I want." Our fans like this. Our fans don't care. Okay, well then you're only going to draw your fans. So I don't know. Well, that's been our.
Well, wouldn't you like to get a commercial? Wouldn't you like to get a movie? Wouldn't you like to,
Yeah, look like a movie. So like Kenny Omega needs to be dressing more like a star out there. He doesn't look like a star. When you dress like that. Don Callis wears nice clothes. He's got the glasses on and stuff. Like his crew dresses up a little bit.
You're back to the pink glasses, the Don Callis pink glasses.
Right. So he gets it. He doesn't give you. Nana gets it. Swerve gets it.
Right.
Swerve comes out dressed like but some of these guys just don't get it at all. And I'm not getting. And it's funny that it's coming from some of the guys that are executive vice presidents on this show.
Right.
So I don't know, but that's been our Dynamite.
Right. So that's been our AEW Dynamite review. Boom.